Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Grant, coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands, Beef Island, at the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport. The British Virgin Islands Airports Authority has been embarking on a number of changes, and we took some time to speak with the Managing Director, Mr. Menal, to highlight some of the beautiful changes that are coming about. He also addressed some challenges that are on the way to being rectified. Some claim that the age of a true gentleman is far behind us, but here at 284 Media, we disagree. He may appear in different guises today, but the values and ideals that make him a gent still stand. 284 Media proudly presents The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman with yours truly, Ron Grant, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not all about suits and bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 5, a 284 Media production.
Good morning, my name is Menal. I'm the Managing Director of the BVIAA Airports Authority. So this year we actually had a very, very successful year. We like to stick with the numbers because the numbers don't lie. So historically, over the last 10 to 15 years, the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport in particular, we moved about 205,000 passengers per annum. And we projecting based on our air service development and our plans for 2023 and beyond to reach about 250,000 by the end of this year. And we attribute that to air service development, to aggressive and targeted air service development. It's well publicized that on the 1st of June 2023, we had our first non-stop flight between the US and the BVI, with American Airlines flight 3989 touching down here. And that flight has been steady since that time. So you have a situation now where American Airlines has so much confidence in the destination that they have increased frequencies, particularly during the winter season. In the winter season, we have 2 flights per day during the week, and then we have 3 flights per day on Saturdays, which is significant in terms of impacting the ultimate numbers that run through the Terence B. Lettsome International Airport. Moving into next year, you may see American Airlines increasing to 3 flights per day during a certain period, with 4 flights on Saturdays. Again, that is significant because it speaks to the confidence that the airline has in the destination. Not just Caribbean Airlines, but not just American Airlines, but our other partners. Caribbean Airlines is looking to come into the BVI by the end of June 2024. We're looking to increase that regional connectivity, connecting the BVI not just to the rest of the world, but to the rest of the region. We have Intercaribbean, our biggest player here in the BVI. Intercaribbean is one of those airlines that actually overnights here because of that confidence in the destination, and they move the bulk of the passengers throughout the region originating from the BVI. Silver Air has increased their flights as well and increased capacity by introducing ATR 72s as opposed to 42s. That's an increase of about 30 seats on one aircraft. Again, that says that the destination is growing, and then the Airports Authority is playing that role of being the gateway to the destination and beyond. In terms of our capacity at the airport, we're looking to improve the passenger experience at the airport. So you will see where we will be relocating the FBO, that's the IAM Jet Center, to what used to be the Welcome Center. What that will allow us to do is to increase the space and the capacity within the customs and immigration area, and then to also install a new conveyor belt, because the one that we have is extremely old. One of the issues that has plagued, or the major issue that has plagued the Airports Authority over the last 20 years, I dare say, is the lack of maintenance and lack of development of the infrastructure. So we're trying to fix what is broken, replace what is breaking down, again to enhance the guest experience at the airport. In the departure areas, we have some bottlenecks there. So as we speak, we're making plans to expand the area to add some seating to increase that capacity. So we will add an additional 76 seats there. They will be more comfortable seats, and we're going to add at least one more concessionaire, maybe a coffee shop or something. Even the concessionaires on the outside, you see that they're more diverse now. So over the last year, And the last 18 months or so, we've introduced new concessionaires. We have a new coffee shop outside 714. One of my favorites. They actually make some of the best coffee. And we're just looking towards the future and not just developing the infrastructure, but developing the people as well. So over the last year, we would have trained about 7 people would have gained airport operations diploma programs from the Airports Council International. We do that because we want them to be exposed to the international best practices and the right way of doing things. An extension of that will be them doing attachments at other international airports that are busier than us, so they can learn from the best practices there. We had issues this year with air traffic control and with the fire service. How we address that, one, with respect to the fire service, we actually recruited 13 new firemen, and we sent 13 firemen away on training to do that basic training in England that is required by Air Safety Support International. The plans moving into next year are to train the remaining 13, so we have the full complement trained. Obviously, sending them overseas is an expensive undertaking. So what we're going to do is actually establish a facility right here at Terence B. Lettsome International, where they can be exposed to the pressure-fed fires, because it's a major requirement based on the regulators' requirements. In terms of air traffic control, the interest in air traffic control in the BVI just wasn't there. So the numbers dwindled over the years. We had gone down to where we had only 6 active air traffic controllers, hence the reason when we had what would be termed as a sick out, we had to shut down. How did we address that? By basically aggressively advertising internationally. And we got interest from as far as Philippines and Kenya. And we have recruited about 3 or 4 air traffic controllers. We trained 2, and we have 1 in training as we speak. So that brought the number up from 6 to 11. And ultimately, well, the ideal number is 12, but ultimately we're looking to have 15. So we have that buffer as a contingency for in terms of future planning. Most recently, over the last year, we also installed a new air traffic control system, and that would improve operational safety and efficiency. We tried our best to improve the environment in the air traffic control tower as well, to provide facilities for the air traffic controllers. So there's a lot that is going on. There's a lot that we have accomplished. And in tandem with the government, for example, we have sent out an RFP for a business case for the development of the airport. So the government's ultimate goal or vision is to extend the runway and develop the airport so we can accommodate larger body aircraft. The business case will spell out how that will be done, what the project will look like, how it will be financed, how will we meet the requirements of the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, and so on. So we will be guided along the way. The Ministry of Communications and Works, under which we fall, they remain focused and committed to seeing that development go on. I think the BVI Tourist Board does a great job of marketing the destination. This is a naturally beautiful place. You have a choice of 60 islands and keys to choose from when you come here. It's a destination where you don't have necessarily the traditional hotel room type of thing. The type of individual coming to the BVI is higher end and to an extent even ultra high end. The people coming here coming to go onto the water, because the most beautiful part of the BVI, I think, is the water. So the aggressive marketing of the BVI Tourist Board, I think, spurs that desire to come to the BVI. Then you have the airport. The airport as a gateway, that is a choice. You have the seaports as well. So there's so many avenues to come to the BVI. Contrary to what everybody will say, I actually think it's a benefit because it's a multimodal approach to arriving at the destination. And of course, you have the Airports Authority, which engages in that aggressive air service development. We, in tandem with the BVI Airports, with the BVI Tourist Board, we go after the airlines to woo them to come to the destination. So, and it's not a very hard job, to tell the truth, because a lot of the development in terms of tourism that takes place here, in terms of spurring on that desire, is organic. People just naturally want to come here. Because what you have is a lot of return visitors. I was told by the Director of Tourism that this is one of the destinations in the Caribbean that has the highest rate of return visitors. So the development is truly organic, and the BVI Tourist Board, the Airports Authority, we just capitalize on that. I think it's more about the perception. I think there's a perception, for example, that the Airports Authority, like most statutory bodies, is cash rich, and we are not. And I say that categorically. The Airports Authority was established in 2005, and I think the government of the day intended well. So they established the authority, and the intention was for it to be autonomous, self-funding, and all of that. But it was not equipped to be self-funding. So when you look at the rate of subvention that was given to the authority over the last 20 years, it did not allow them, it didn't give them enough of a buffer to even break even. And then the focus wasn't really on air service development and business development and all of that. The Airports Authority was treated as a facility. The airport was treated as a facility. But what you have now is a turnaround, a refocus on developing the airport as a commercial entity and reaching the point where we can actually break even and make a profit and then to be self-sustaining. So the perception that we are cash rich and then you could just spend or buy and all of that, that is not the case at all. And you have a situation where over the last 20 years, no attention was paid to the facility, to the infrastructure, the equipment. So at this point, we at end of life for a lot of our equipment, a lot of our infrastructure. So even aside from the talk of the development of the airport and the expansion of the runway and all of that, you have an extremely aging facility. By last count, we need about $45 million now to be able to bring us up to where we need to be and then move forward. But we're hopeful that because we have the support of the Ministry of Finance, we have the support of the Ministry of Communications and Works. But it has to be now, and it has to happen even before we move towards the airport development. Just like aviation and airports in general is an economic catalyst. We are a driver for the economy. We enable economic development and economic activity. We move goods, services, and people. We enable lives and livelihoods. We connect families, we connect countries, we connect governments, and we consider ourselves a key player and a key part of the overall economy and the society. And as an employer, I would love people to know or for us to reach the point where we are a preferred employer. People want to come to work here. Students aspire to enter aviation careers, airport careers, and so on. Use this place as a platform even to go far beyond the BVI. The BVI Airports Authority, like most other entities in the BVI, is a microcosm of the society. Because I was told that, and I'm subject to correction, that in the BVI, the ratio is 60-40 expat to local.
That's correct.
And I've never heard that anywhere in my life. So it's a natural occurrence for the entities to reflect that. However, the ratios or the demographics in the BVI Airports Authority are actually higher, favoring locals than expats. So, for example, I think in my management team, 90% of the managers are local, and throughout the authority, it goes down to about 78% local and the rest expat. But to be frank, there are certain categories of work that just does not attract the locals. So, for example, security, etc. For some reason, they just don't apply for those jobs. But definitely at the management level, 90% of the makeup there is local. Well, as we are in the joyous festive season now, I'd like to extend greetings to the entire territory, all of the islands, all of the airports, and to thank the public for supporting the BVI Airports Authority throughout 2023, and we look forward to more collaboration and support in 2024 and beyond. To my team, I want to say a resounding thank you for the part that you all played in the success that we enjoyed or that we achieved in 2023, and I look forward to working with every one of you in 2024 and beyond.